Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone on live stream. My name is Candace Witt, and I'm a spiritual practitioner with Centers for Spiritual Living with Light on the Mountains. It looks wonderful to see all of you out here today. Let's just go close our eyes and go within. I recognize the presence of God, the one source, the infinite expression of life, the creative source right here, right now. I know that that source is at the center of my being, as I know is at the center of each one of you. I know that that source fills you and connects you to all it is. It is that one place that is always there, always available, always ready to help in any way, knowing that that is our source where we can go for any knowledge and information. I give thanks for this source that is always present. I give thanks for Reverend John and Reverend Robbi today, and R.L. and Max for their wonderful music, and each one of you who make this center what it is, as together we say, and so it is. Ann and I have been teaching a class. My husband wants me to use the word facilitating, because he said, you're teaching us as much as I'm teaching you. So we're facilitating a class in the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. And underlying everything, all of the 7 laws, is that God is within. God is the center of everything we do. Each one is a different aspect of that. So today I'm going to read something from, it's called 365 Science of Mind, a Year of Daily Wisdom from Ernest Holmes. And what I'm reading is today's daily wisdom for October 2nd. God within me strengthens me. Fear thou not, for I am with thee. I will strengthen thee, I will uphold thee. I, the Lord thy God, will hold thy right hand. When we turn from all belief in separateness, we find the indwelling Spirit. When we have dismissed all fear, then we know that God is love. When we have turned away from every sense of weakness, we know that God is strength. This thought fills me with confidence and courage. Resting securely in this knowledge, I am renewed, guided, and led step by step by the power of an ever-present love. Today I permit the Divine Spirit to flow through me, rejoicing in its presence. I am free from fear. I live in perfect faith. There is but one power and presence in the universe, which is God, the living Spirit Almighty. Disregarding any appearance that seems to contradict this divine fact, I press forward with a certain knowledge that I am forever one with the invisible presence that is able, ready, and willing to direct all my ways. I know that her ways are ways of pleasantness, and all her paths are peace. Today I walk in these ways of pleasantness, and no wind can blow my bark astray. There is a divine authority at the center of my being that announces itself in every act. I have implicit confidence in the invisible part of me, which is my share in the God nature, my partnership with the infinite, my oneness with all that is. Today I accept my good. Today I bless that good and cause it to multiply in my experience. Today I shall not doubt nor fear. God within me strengthens me. Let's just go ahead and read together the affirmation for October. It's on your insert. It's kind of in the little block just down from the top. All my needs are abundantly met as I understand that Spirit is my one and only source. Let's just take a moment and reflect on that. And so it is.
I'm having what I was told is called a busman's holiday. Have you ever heard that term? Meaning you're kind of working, but you're really not. So it's pretty rare that I attend on a Sunday when we have a guest speaker, because the whole point is for me not to come. But I make my one exception for my dear friend over here, because I just online is just not the same. So I just want to reintroduce you to Rabbi Robbi, even though many of you know her or know of her. She's infamous throughout the valley. So Rabbi Cantor Robbi Sherwin, that's got to keep it all in order, is our guest today. She has been the rabbi at our local Jewish community for 5 years. Time has flown. And she's all over the place. And she actually lives in Colorado and commutes, which is kind of amazing. She's an accomplished musician within faith communities and has traveled around and done a lot. And I think she said you're just putting out your 7th album. Is that even a term we use anymore? Album, download, CD. What do we call it anymore? It's just less artwork. But anyways, I have no idea what we're in for. I just leave it to Rabbi Robbi. So you're on. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It's funny, we don't applaud in synagogue. I'm not really sure why. So every time there's applause, I'm always like, oh no, it's okay. It's all about the Spirit, and it's all about doing it for the right reasons. So good morning, everyone. So Boker Tov means good morning, and your answer is Boker or morning light, which I think would go just beautifully with the mission here. So I say Boker Tov, and you say Boker or Boker Tov. Beautiful. Good morning. So this lovely creature here is a kudu horn. We think it's a lefty. We're not sure. This is actually my son's. He's always asking me, "Where's my shofar?" And I said, "Well, it's in Sun Valley again." So this time of year, the shofar represents many things in Judaism, and the shofar was kind of the Morse code of Judaism on the mountains, and when they were trying to talk to each other, okay, all Levites meet at the tent of meeting at 2:00, right? So there would be different calls. It's like I said, Morse code, and the shofar reminds us, especially of the ram that was caught in the thicket that Abraham sacrificed instead of his son Isaac. So the shofar represents the ram. And we use the shofar at the beginning of the year. By the way, Shana Tova, say Shana Tova. Means Happy New Year. So it's the Jewish New Year, Rosh Hashanah. We believe that it's the year 5783. It is the birthday of human beings on the earth. So it's the birthday of the world as we as human beings were breathed consciousness into our beings. So here it is, the year 5783. The year 2022 is a Christian construct, right? As is the word sin, which we'll talk about in a minute. It's a totally Christian construct, not a way that Jews look at things. The Muslims have a year that's different, and as well other faith practices the Buddhists have a year that's different. So we all take our years from the beginning of what we believe is the beginning of the earth or the beginning of consciousness. So here's the shofar. There's many calls. We're going to start with the shofar. It still has its sticker on it. It says made in Israel, and it is, although there aren't kudus in Israel, they're in Africa, but they can be made out of any kosher animal. So it's an animal that chews its cud and nurses its young. So it has to be made out of a kosher animal, and this is a horn, not an antler. I don't have to tell you what antlers are. You live here, but so I always make sure that the kids know that an animal died for this, right? Because the horns are not willingly given up. So I'm going to try and do a couple of blows for you to wake us out of our complacency, to wake us up out of our ordinary lives, and understand that this is an extraordinary season as we celebrate the beginning of the world. So I don't want the microphone in here. I'm not really a shofar blower, but I enjoy it. And they come, it can be any kind of a ram, again, a kosher animal, an animal that nurses its young, and it has to be a mammal. Thank you. So there's a lot of music in Rosh Hashanah, which means the head of the year, and a lot of music in Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, which is 10 days later. We are on day 7 of the 10 days of repentance and awe. In Judaism, we don't have an intermediary. There's no priest, there's nobody making absolution for us, between us and God. In Judaism, we have a direct line to our own spiritual faith, our own relationship with God. And it is really important at this time of year that we as a community confess our shortcomings. Again, the word sin is a Christian construct. In Judaism, the word for returning to a better path, which is our job in these 10 days, to apologize to those who we may have wronged. And then only then can God forgive us for our wrongs, our shortcomings, is actually the word teshuvah, which is an archery term. So here you are, there's the bullseye, you're getting ready, you're pulling your arrow, you let your arrow fly, and you miss. So what do? You've missed the mark. Teshuvah means to miss the mark. You go back and you try again. You're given the opportunity every single time to go back and try again. Between the new year, Rosh Hashanah, and Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement, our job is to return to a better path. Our job is to apologize for the things that we may have done and make promises that we are not going to do those things again. And on Yom Kippur, which begins Tuesday evening, we have to make sure that we've done all of the work that we need to do. We call our friends up, we write emails, whatever it is. We call our parents, we call our siblings, and we say, I'm really sorry, and I'm going to try and not miss the mark next time. It's a lot of work. And for us to be able to show how grateful we are and how sincerely we are repenting for those shortcomings, for missing the mark, we fast for 26 hours, including me. And so I have water with me all the time, which we have to anyway here in the valley. I have to pre-hydrate to be able to make it through 26 hours of fasting. But it's not just 26 hours of fasting, it's prayer. And it's a lot of prayer. It starts in the morning, it goes all the way to sundown. So, excuse me while I pre-hydrate for a moment. I am both a rabbi and a cantor. And in Judaism, a cantor is a fully ordained position, many years of seminary. And so I'm serving double duty. Some nice double dipping from the Wood River Jewish community when they hired me 5 years ago. And our job as cantors is to do the sacred music. There's a lot of beautiful music. As a matter of fact, probably 85% of Jewish worship is sung. It's sung. So the cantors are said to be the heart of Judaism, and the rabbis are said to be the head of Judaism. Hopefully I'm a complete person at this point. And the heart is the leader when it comes to worship. So as a cantor, and the Hebrew word for cantor is hazan, which means not hazah, but hazan. It means visionary. Not that I am the visionary, because I understand your relationship with God. I help you envision your relationship with God through sacred music and through the study that we do together. If you have your song sheet, the song, Hineni, which I talked about actually is the theme of High Holy Day services for me this year. Hineni means I am fully present. Here I am. I am here. And I think it's really fascinating, and there are no coincidences, we all know that my good friend RL, my crush RL, I'm his favorite rabbi too, so it's true. That he spoke about fear. Thank you, Mag. That he spoke about fear. We are afraid at this time of year because it is said that the book of life is open. The gates of life are open. And if you don't do the work that you need to do to ask for forgiveness, first of those you may have wronged, and then only then of God, that you may not be written in the book of life for the year to come. Yay, scary, right? Fear. Fear is interesting. And I loved your discussion you said with your friend Josh. Yeah. I want to be on one of those discussions because that sounds fantastic. So as the Hazan, as the visionary, my job is to help you envision your relationship with God, envision your relationship with the divine, envision your relationship with each other. So this is called Hineni. It's known as the Chazan's prayer. And it's a way for us to take the gifts that we've been given and humbly hope that we can pray with you for your wholeness at this challenging time of year. I have come here, poor in deeds, but rich in soul, to ask of you to hear. Sorry, the guitar's off. There we go. You can probably turn it down a little bit. I have come here, poor in deeds, but rich in soul, to ask of you to hear your people in our task to make us whole. We profess our faith, quiet our tears. Let nothing distract us as we face our fears. O God of our ancestors, grant us mercy and grace. Show us awe and wonder in this holy place. We face ourselves and the deeds of our past. We recognize our human failings and promise to forgive at last. O God of our ancestors, grant us mercy and grace. Show us awe and wonder in this holy place. If I have done wrong, as I know we all have, be kind to your people in your compassion and love. We profess our faith, quiet our tears. Let nothing distract us as we face our fears. O God of our ancestors, show us mercy and grace. Show us awe and wonder in this holy place. May I offer up our prayers without stumbling. It's a lot of responsibility this time of year for all of us to do the very hard work that it takes to give forgiveness. Granting forgiveness is so hard. It's easy to say, I'm sorry. It's easier to ask than it is to actually let go. That's what these holidays are all about. We finish Yom Kippur at sundown, and we break our fast, and we joyously move forward knowing that we're clean. It's a combination of a communal confessional, because we are all responsible for each other. There's a term from the Talmud, all the writings in Judaism, one of them is known as the Talmud. Kol Yisrael aravim ze bazeh. All of Israel is responsible for one another. And what does the word Israel mean? Does it mean people that live in the Middle East? The word Israel means to wrestle with God. Yisar El. In Judaism, we wrestle. We argue, we fight. We're not only allowed to, we're encouraged to question God and question our leaders and question our history and question our heritage. Yisar El, Yisrael, to wrestle with God. That's who we are as Jews, and that's who we are as human beings, right? Not just in Judaism. In Judaism, we do things when we are truly hineni, when we are truly present, 3 times to show our commitment, 3 times. So for example, if someone wants to convert to Judaism, boy, is this a hard religion. Ay vey. It is filled with foreign language, Hebrew. It is filled with a fraught history. It is filled with a current history of anti-Semitism, of anti-Jewish sentiments all over the world. It's always raising, about every 75 years you can set your watch by it. Anti-Semitism really rears its ugly head. What was 75 years ago? The Holocaust. It's unbelievable. We don't even report half of the stuff that happens. But we commit ourselves to doing something when we've done it 3 times. So people want to come and they want to say, Rabbi, I think I'd like to be Jewish. I like your food. We gave you the bagel. You're welcome. Rabbi, I'd like to be Jewish. I feel connected to God through these ancient laws. Rabbi, I'd like to be Jewish for these reasons. And my job is to turn them away 3 times. Now, literally, if you've ever seen the movie Keeping the Faith, I love that movie so much, about the rabbi and the priest that are friends, and they're both in love with the same woman, but it's really fantastic. The rabbi literally slams the door in the face of someone and says, Rabbi, I'd like to come and convert. I don't do that anymore. I go, are you nuts? Have you heard of the Holocaust? Are you crazy? Have you heard of the Spanish Inquisition? We don't celebrate Columbus Day because that's the day that Isabel and Ferdinand said that all the Jews had to convert or die. It's not our holiday, Columbus Day. We don't celebrate that, right? So, and many of us that are of consciousness don't celebrate it for other reasons as well, because we know what happened to the Native Americans, what continues to happen to minorities here in these United States. So 3 times we sing something. When I call up a bar mitzvah for the first time for the honor of an aliyah, the honor to bless the Torah, I call them up, a bat mitzvah, bar mitzvah, a b mitzvah is what we call it now, 3 times. Are you ready? Stand up. Are you ready? Are you ready to take on these responsibilities? So we sing many things 3 times. And this prayer, Avinu Malkeinu, which means our Father, our King, it's still a very male-centric faith. We're doing our best because, I also recognize God as a non-binary spiritual entity in our lives. Avinu Malkeinu, Imenu Malkatenu. I have done wrong. Please forgive me. Temper your harsh decrees with justice and love. I'm going to do better next time. We sing it 3 times. We sing it in front of an open ark with the Torah, our most sacred scroll, present. We sing it from our hearts, and I often don't get through it without crying. Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu v'hanenu, Avinu Malkeinu, Chonenu v'hanenu, Ki ein banu ma'asim, Aseh imanu. צדקה וחסד. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד, והושיענו. אבינו מלכנו, חוננו ועננו. אבינו מלכנו, חוננו ועננו, כי אין בנו מעשים. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד, והושיענו. אבינו מלכנו, חוננו ועננו. אבינו מלכנו, חוננו ועננו, כי אין בנו מעשים. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד. עשה עמנו צדקה וחסד, והושיענו. אבינו מלכנו, אבינו מלכנו. In the year to come, may we ask for and grant forgiveness. May we make our lives whole and the lives of those in our community, the lives of those in our world. May we find our deepest connection to our spiritual Holy One. May we find our deepest connection to those we love. May we give peace. May we be the cause of peace. And may peace be everything in this world. Shana Tova. Shana Tova, good year for all.